It begins subtly. She stops laughing at your jokes. Not abruptly, but gradually. You say something that once would have made her smile, and now it passes without reaction. She interrupts your stories before they finish. She asks how your day was, but you can tell she already knows what you are going to say. And when did it start? Soon after you got married. You were together 10 years before that. 10 years of passion and consistency. Even when life became busy, children, work, responsibilities, intimacy slowed slightly, but it never disappeared. Then the first real sign appears. She stops making an effort with her appearance. Sweatpants replace outfits. Old undergarments replace anything intentional. Sometimes she does not even change out of her work clothes when she gets home. She has become comfortable. Too comfortable. One evening, she stretches on the couch wearing a tank top and shorts. That is when you notice she has not shaved her underarms. You make a small joke. "So we are not shaving now?" She responds defensively. "I have been busy." You let it go. You do not want an argument. So you try something different. You take a few days off work, clean the house, cook her favorite meal, light candles, and plan a relaxing weekend together. The night begins well. Then you notice something. She never showers. The next day passes. Coffee, yard work, a nap, still no shower. By the third day, you realize something important. She is not avoiding hygiene. She is avoiding sex. And instead of saying it directly, she is creating distance. That is when the realization becomes clear. You have become predictable, and predictability is the death of desire. So what do? Do you cheat? Do you escape into pornography and frustration? No, you become quieter. Not like a child sulking, but like a man who simply has less to say. You begin filling your time with real missions and responsibilities. You stop centering your entire schedule around the relationship. You begin disappearing. Day 1. You walk through the door after work. She asks, "How was work?" You barely glance up. Nothing to write home about. You shower, put on a t-shirt and sweatpants, grab your gym bag, and head toward the door. "Where are you going?" she asks. "To the gym." No explanation. This activates something psychologists call status quo bias, the tendency to see changes in routine as risks. Your sudden shift introduces uncertainty. If you improve yourself, other women may notice, and that introduces the possibility of losing you. Later that night, you return. "How was the gym?" she asks. "It was all right." She senses tension and asks, "Can I get a kiss?" You give it to her. If you refused, the tension could be blamed on you. Then she asks, "What do you want to eat?" "I'm having grilled chicken breasts, broccoli, and egg whites." Now you are eating separate meals. You are doing things without her. And psychologically, people dislike being left outside the tribe. Day 2. You come home. "How was work?" "Nothing to write home about." Same answer, same calm tone. You shower, go to the gym, and return home briefly. Then you leave again. This time you do one of your hobbies. Fishing, golf, bowling, darts, it does not matter. Many men abandon their hobbies to keep peace in a relationship, or the hobbies become things they only do together. But that is part of the problem. At the beginning of a relationship, everything feels intense because everything is new. The brain releases dopamine while it learns about the other person. But over time, the jokes become familiar. The stories become familiar. The routine becomes familiar. The reactions become predictable. Once the brain understands the pattern, excitement fades. This is habituation. The emotional reaction weakens because the stimulus is repeated. So on day 2, you reintroduce something important, a life outside the relationship. Day 3. You come home from work and notice something different. The house is spotless. On the table is a small note. "Out running errands. See you when you get back from the gym." In the kitchen, your favorite meal is waiting. You go to the gym as usual. When you return, she is sitting on the couch dressed provocatively. "How was the gym?" she asks. She will probably never apologize directly for the distance between you. This is her peace offering. You glance at her. It was all right. Then you walk past her and continue with your evening. Not aggressively, not emotionally, simply maintaining the new rhythm you created. Because the point was never confrontation. The point was change. And after only 3 days, the dynamic in the house already feels different. Quietly, subtly, but unmistakably.